What is up, Cougar Country? Welcome to the podcast. This is the third podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. How's it going, Coach Wilkins?
Doing good. We got another week. Stacked a week.
There we go. Yeah, we got testing this week, and then today we got the cards going on. How was testing?
Testing was good. We tested the 40. We tested the broad. We tested the 5-10-5, which is a short shuttle. We tested, everything from hand size to arm length to the reach, just all the things that matter that you need to test for the next level. We did. We tested.
And this week, didn't you say that not many kids were used to it? This is kind of their first time getting on the 40, getting the side to side. What was it like, working with them and kind of teaching them the technique from the start?
Yeah, well, the 40 is pretty easy because you just run straight. Now, however, if you didn't come to the fifth quarter or you're not running track, it's kind of hard because you don't even know how to start properly. You don't really know what running form and running technique is. So, that, and then the 5-10-5. A lot of the young men were like, "Coach, this is the first time I ever ran a shuttle." So we were just trying to teach it on the run and explain to them that, hey, if you go camping in summer and college is something you want to do, this is one of the tests that you have to perform. So just and for us as coaches, what's important about testing is that it's a measurement, so we know and we have a barrier of what we need to improve. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to improve your speed if you don't know what your 40 time is or how fast you are. It's kind of hard to improve your change of direction if you don't know what your shuttle time is, or how do I improve if I don't know what my time is. So just measurements of time so we can give feedback and we have a standard of a base where we got to go and what we need to improve from.
I'm sure you've seen a difference, too, in the kids that are doing fifth quarter compared to not fifth quarter. Like, do you see a difference out there from when they first started showing up with us compared to how they look now?
100%. Yeah, it's night and day. I told the kids after we were done, I was like, well, I could tell if you weren't in the fifth quarter. I could tell a kid after he was running the 40. He said, "You're not in the fifth quarter, are you?" And he's like, "Nope, I can tell." Yeah. He hasn't been working. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to be good at something when you don't work at it. And so while we're going through this testing, I think it's really important that it opens young men's eyes to, oh shoot, this thing takes work. And if I haven't been showing up to the fifth quarter, I didn't perform very well on my testing, and so again, feedback for the young men are important because then they understand that, okay, work and results, right? Work is the precursor to results, so we got to work.
And then talk about the cards too. The accountability cards. What does that mean to you?
So we did commitment cards today, and so throughout the testing week, now the young men know where they're at, whether it be on their broad or whether it be on their 40 time or their shuttle or their bench test. So now it's really important. We're having the academics come out here actually at the end of spring break. So what we did what commitment cards are is the front half of it are my personal goals. So we have a goal mentally, if there's something mentally that I want to improve on or work better at, whether it be improve my mental health or mental toughness, etc. Mental goals can be, things that are pretty simple. Like I want to improve my ability to control my emotions or control my anger or use my passion in a better, more positive manner. That could be a mental goal. Then we have the physical goal, which are the weight room stuff. Now that they tested, now it's important that they put a goal down that's tangible and realistic, right? Mm-hmm. I told the young men, it's important when you set goals that they're tangible and they're realistic. Like if you max 135, don't put my goal is to bench 400, right? Yeah. There's a process. Not saying you can't, but there's a process that you have to go through to get there. And then an academic goal. So I told the young men that if your best performance you've ever done in your life, in your academics is a 4.0, and you're a 4.0 student, that should be your goal, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a 3.5, that should be your goal. And essentially all that does is just give them those short-term goals where they can look at that card. And I told them, I want you to carry your card wherever you are, no matter where you go. Because here's the thing is that once that card is always in front of me and I'm always looking at the goal, it's just a constant reminder of that these are my short-term goals. This is why I need to focus in class. This is why I need to work hard in the weight room. And then on the back of the card, we take it from the individual goals and we put, what we call the commitment to the team. Mm-hmm. And what that is the commitment is I'm going to commit to my team to get better for the team in this way. So if I have bad habits that are becoming a distraction to the team, I'm going to commit this way. If I'm a leader, I'm going to commit to the team to be a better leader in this manner. And then the last piece of that would be their why. And I think it's really important as we go through these things that we're going through, and we're working these young men so hard, and they're being put through the ringer, that they have a why and a purpose for why they're doing what they do. And their why is what's going to carry them when the going gets tough. It's kind of hard, and I don't think they understand that when you only play for yourself and you're a selfish individual and you don't really have a purpose and a why beyond yourself, it's hard to dig down deep and get yourself through the toughness and the grind of life sometimes. So that's what a commitment card is, and that's what the whole testing week was. So very just kind of, it's more of a relaxed week in terms of the physical part, but it's a really important piece for us going into spring break, so our young men know and have goals and that are set so they can improve their performance.
Yeah. And I mean, normally we got the more of like workouts going on throughout the week for PE, but then you got the testing this week, and then the kids, they come in at lunch pretty much every day, right?
Yeah, that's
like
the nutrition part. Yep. They come in lunch quite a bit. Yep. We feed them. We feed them, which has been great. We've had peanut butter and jellies, and we've had roast beef sandwiches donated. It's been awesome. So our young men come in at lunch, and they get a little bit of food, and it's been awesome. So they can recover.
Yeah, I'll throw up the picture right now. We had some great donations of bread, peanut butter, jelly, as well as roast beef, and we also got the QR code. I'll put that up as well, and that all goes back into the kids, so we're able to, give them great nutrition and put some food in their bodies, because sometimes they are not eating a lot.
Please donate. Please donate. Please do. If you have anything, even if it's just a couple bucks, just donate. It's going right back to the kids, and they need it.
And nutrition, how big of a factor is that for these kids?
Yeah, that's the bridge. You talk about the how hard you work, and I think there's a misunderstanding that hard work gets you there, but there's also the commitment to what you eat and what you feed yourself, and how you recover, which is so important. So, I'll never forget our first team meeting. Where I brought him in and I explained the structure of our program. I saw a young man with hot Cheetos for his breakfast, and I just instantly to my head, I'm a fix it type of person. I got to fix it. I got to take out their ability to make their own decisions, because obviously, if you give a young man a decision what to eat for breakfast, hot Cheetos, right? That's not conducive to where we want to go.
Yeah.
So then it was, okay, then how do we get this nutrition thing going a lot faster than what I thought? I got on our group me, and our parents have been phenomenal. And before you know it, we'll have 25 loaves of bread that have been donated. We have 25 jars of peanut butter and jelly, and our principal donated us sunflower butter for kids with allergies, and turkey for kids with allergies. So we have it full spectrum covered. And like I said, we open it at lunch, and I open it in the mornings for kids that didn't eat breakfast. Come on and get your PB&Js, and we'll just eat the heck out of peanut butter and jelly. Cheap, easy, and it works for us. It's better than hot Cheetos and donuts. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big factor in it. Sometimes, the healing and the recovery is almost a bigger factor in it than the actual, working out. You gotta heal. You gotta get enough sleep, and you gotta drink enough water. I feel like that's a major play too. Drinking at least a gallon of water a day.
Absolutely. Well, hydration and sleep are very, very underrated too. There's a reason why LeBron James spends $1 million on his recovery. It's because he understands that in order for him to stay young or have himself at peak performance for so long, he has to hydrate, he has to sleep, he has to eat right. And I think those are the things that we continue to talk with our young men, and they don't know. You have to educate them. They're ignorant until we give them the tools. And just talking about, all right, how many hours do y'all think you should sleep a night? Oh, maybe 5, 6. No, with how hard we're working, 8 to 10 at least for an athlete, right? And how much water do you think you should drink? Oh, right? Isn't it like a couple of those cups of water, coach? Nope, gallon of water a day, right? Get your gallon jug. Have a barrier and mark it all out. 10 a.m. I want to drink by this. Noon I want to be here. 4 p.m. I want to be here. Before I go to bed, I want to be here. And that way,
Mm-hmm.
they're hydrating, especially now it's 97 already. I mean,
Oh
shoot,
my!
we're
Like
out there and
yesterday, it was very hot.
smoking. I mean, it was smoking. We had
Everyone was sweating their butts
absolutely.
off. Uh-huh.
So just again, what we do here is very. We're going to give them the education part, but also my thing is I want to follow up and I want to make sure that I am holding them accountable to that, because A, I don't want to get anybody hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and B, I want to keep young men safe. And how they do that is they have to take that part serious. And I've told our administration this, and everybody knows this. Like with how hard we train, if you don't sleep, hydrate, eat, recover properly, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before you get injured.
I mean, and the kids, that are going home after season, they're playing Netflix and they're doing or playing Fortnite or whatever games that are going on right now. And we gotta get them into other sports. Got to get them in the fifth quarter. Like how big of a factor is it for kids playing multiple sports?
Yeah, I think here at Clovis, we want to promote playing other sports. I think it's really important. My expectation and the promotion that I want to do is I want kids to at least play 2 sports. We're not gonna force them to. That's their decision. But the biggest thing that I think I can never wrap my head around is specialization in one sport. And I've explained to the young men, and I'll explain it to parents, like, we would purposely not recruit a kid, or we would put a kid higher than another kid just on the mere fact that he played multiple sports. So yeah, he may be a little bit more underdeveloped, but the fact that he has basketball experience or baseball experience or wrestling experience, for example, if he's a state wrestler and he's an offensive lineman, like, that tells you a lot. He can bend, he can leverage, he can get underneath people. Like, holy smokes, we may have something here. And our offensive line coach over at NIU did a great job. And he only recruited offensive linemen that had a state qualifying number in wrestling, because he knew it was a leverage sport. Football's a leverage sport. And football and wrestling have a direct correlation with one another in those aspects. And I think about, some of the stories that we've had of recruiting defensive backs. And, we basically, by the time you get into recruiting, you get to go watch those young men or visit those young men eventually. And, one young man was a specialized guy, only played football. The other one was a basketball player. And I'll never forget, we went to his basketball game, and it was like, holy smokes, this kid is an athlete. He can jump. He's got great ball skills. He's got great body control. And that was what set him apart, was the fact that he played basketball. So again, I can't wrap my head around this specialization. I think it leads to burnout. I can only imagine myself as a young man only playing one sport for my entire life. I mean, shoot, by the time, and it happens in college, I mean, shoot, did you get your college scholarship? Sure. But it's freshman year, you're ready to quit because you're so burnt out of that sport because you never took a break, or B, tried to do something different. So we want to create an environment here at Clovis where our young men are encouraged to play other sports. Wrestling, awesome. Great correlation to football. Baseball, awesome. Great correlation to football. Track, obviously. Getting fast. Great correlation to football. Volleyball. Yeah. Great vertical jumping, wide receivers, if you're a wide receiver, DB, etc. Being able to be on the baseball field and track a ball, being able to jump on a volleyball court. Awesome stuff. Being able to run a fast time and learn running form is huge. And we even have, shout out to Coach Patrick and Coach Jackson. We've got a player that literally, he ran the 100 and then ran over and played in a baseball game on the same day, right? And those things have to happen. And then shout out to the wrestling program for allowing us to work together. And we got some wrestlers out there, and I'm pumped about it, especially with the offense that we're going to run. We're going to need some guys to hit people in the face and get underneath people and get underneath people's pads. And having those wrestlers out there just juice me up, because I know that those guys, A, they're going to be tough, and B, they're naturally going to know how to leverage people.
I mean, I love kids that are two-sport athletes. There's different dynamics of each sport and different leverage, as you said, and different footwork that you learn, whether it's like jumping just for basketball or volleyball, or sprinting and just getting out of the blocks. It's just such a big aspect for for playing different positions, and then also you kind of get away from football for a little bit, and then by the time you come back during summer, you want to hit someone in the mouth, and you want to put some pads on instead of kind of going throughout the year. But
that's right. And if a young man is not in another sport, that's where the fifth quarter comes into play, right? If you're not going to do another sport, then you're out in the fifth quarter working. Like, we're going to push you and promote you to do other sports, but you're not sitting on the couch watching Netflix or being on your TikTok, making your TikTok videos, right? Mm-hmm. We're a program, and we have an environment here of work, and the work doesn't stop. If you want to be, and everybody talks, everybody wants to talk about winning championships, right? But that's just mere words. The work has to come with it. So, we had, about 70, 80?
Yeah.
Yesterday at the fifth quarter, it's been awesome.
There was a lot of kids there.
Been fantastic. We had those that eighth grade group come in.
Oh yeah.
Man. Oh man.
Yeah, they're.
Oh yeah.
They're the real deal. They're the real deal.
Oh yeah, I'm fired up. I'm super pumped for those young men. And for parents, it's really important to understand that you can overdevelop your young man in a sport. He can easily be overdeveloped. And that is not a good thing when a college recruiter comes and he can't say kid's overdeveloped, he's tapped out, because all he's done is prepare himself, right? And you look at him and you say, okay, he's played one sport the entire time, he's overdeveloped, and that's kind of he's hit his ceiling, if that makes sense. And we would talk about that all the time, is I'd rather take this kid, because a college strength coach and a college position coach has the ultimate confidence in themselves, A, to coach, and B, develop people. So let's take a more underdeveloped player that's not tapped out, and let's turn him into what we think he can be, than to take a kid that's already been tapped out in high school. So parents, I know what the process is, and football is specific to football. I can't speak to other sports because that's not my realm or my dynamic. But football for us at the college level, yes, we would look deep into those details of a specialized student athlete, and it's not in a positive way. It would be more toward, okay, why wouldn't I just take a kid that's a little bit lesser of a high school player, but has a bigger ceiling and has way more potential than a kid who's fully tapped out, because all he's been doing is specializing in one thing and working himself to death throughout his entire, from elementary to high school.
Whenever too, it's more of a specific area, just like the top 10 or top 20 high school players in the country, but like they're all track stars too.
Absolutely. Did you see that group me message I sent of the?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Of that 6'5", 230 DN with a 10-2.
It was ridiculous.
10-2. Yeah, I sent it to the kids. Said, "You think you can play at Alabama?" Like that's what it takes. Like a 6'5", 240 guy that runs 10.29. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
They're all either sprinters or like high jump or long jump, but they're great at it, and that's why they just burn people in high school. Whether they're running the ball, catching the ball, they're tackling someone or covering someone.
An athlete's an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Like I worked for a guy, Turner Gill. Coach Gill was drafted in both football professionally and baseball professionally. Like, he's just an athlete. The guy just had a cannon of an arm and was just a super dynamic athlete. And what's cool is the fifth quarter is wrestling has, we have our fifth quarter, wrestling has their winner's circle going on, and Coach Schaefer and myself, just came to agreement, like, hey, they'll get out at this time and they'll go to wrestling. So, again, the dynamic of sharing is there. We will allow your young man to do them both, and to your point, it's just so they don't, he's getting a different feel for a different sport, and he's not getting burnt out on one thing.
Yeah, and if you haven't showed up yet, it's open for 7th to 11th grade in the Clovis High area, and then there's going to be no practice during spring break, right?
Yeah, nothing during spring break. We'll put it on our Instagram and our Twitter, and just to remind everybody. But spring break, that will be a time for everybody to rest and go on vacation and put a smile on their face and get recovered and recouped, and then we're back at it.
Yeah, and so, like yesterday, we had the wide receivers and DBs, and then they separated from the linemen. But talk about like what you guys put them all through yesterday. They were changing directions, they were hitting bags, still running around, catching balls.
Yeah, so what the concept is now that we're in the fifth quarters, we're doing our strength and conditioning stuff, and really it's not strength, it's more just speed school stuff, teaching them how to run. But now that we have all of these players, it's a really good opportunity for us to already start teaching football. So I took the DBs through some DB drills. Coach Sanders took the linebackers through some linebacker drills. And Coach Murray took the D-line through some D-line drills. We're cross-training them all right now, and what that means is that if you're an offensive lineman, yes, you're training with defensive line too. If you're a DB wide receiver, yes, you're training DB drills too. Coach White took the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are a different animal, which is fine. Quarterbacks are what they are. Hopefully we can get a quarterback that can stick somebody at the safety or something, which I'm not opposed to doing. That's just my mentality, my mindset. Who is one of the best quarterbacks here, play middle linebacker, right? Tyler Klutz?
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. One Valley, correct?
I don't remember. I'm sure he probably did.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm bad with those.
That's all right. Stud horse, super stud horse.
Yeah.
So just we cross train, and then every day we're gonna do something different. So like Monday, for example, we did tackling. We want to teach everybody in our program how to properly tackle and tackle safe. And what's awesome about tackle, you can teach tackling nowadays, is they have all these safe equipment where you can do it without your helmet. And you can keep your head out of it, and you can tackle a bag, and we can teach you the technique. And then we do blocking, open field blocking, and then we do closed circuit blocking on Tuesdays, just so they get a feel of how to block safely, where do my hands go, where's my body position, etc. And then Wednesday was offensive Indy, so we did O-line, then we did wide receivers, etc. And then Thursday was our defensive Indy. So just a lot of cool things that we're incorporating, where not only am I getting better in terms of my combine work, I'm getting really good in terms of football, and I'm learning Coach Wilkins' terminology, which is a little different, right?
Yeah. And then, we also had the elementary coaches over the other day. How was that talking to them?
That was awesome.
Was that your first or second time?
Second time.
Okay.
So first time was an interesting experience, but I think, as I'm starting to get dialed back from college into high school, I'm doing a better job of understanding what the needs are. But what a shout out to all our elementary coaches for showing up and just being there and just being open sponges and having an open mind to learn something new. Everybody's going to be very uncomfortable because this is just something new. It's new terminology, a new way of doing things. But like I told them, having an open mind and being able to teach the game of football, like the purity of the game of football, is what's important. Because when you go to Texas, and I hate to compare at all, but when you go to Texas, from the elementary up, they're teaching, coaching, doing everything the same exact way. So by the time they get into higy school, it's already running itself. They know the plays, they know the techniques, they know how we teach things, and that's how it's going to be here.
This morning I actually saw a TikTok. There's this high school coach in Texas, and he now has almost like 100,000 followers on TikTok, and his videos every single day. The life of a high school coach in Texas. And he wakes up at 6, they're going through their workouts or whatever, and they're practicing before school, and then they go to school, and then they're practicing after school, and the whole community is in it. Yeah. And it's just, everyone is bought in. I mean, it kind of sounds like you're doing that too, as in getting the elementary school involved, getting the middle school involved, getting the coaches involved, which I think that's, great move forward, Yeah.
We have to create a program, not a team, a program, and that's part of it. The program is run from the bottom and the top the same. It has to be that way, and there's no other way to do it that I know of. And again, there's a million different ways to skin a cat. I'm going to be true to who I am, and I think that is teaching the principles of football at the youngest of ages, and so we can do it safe too. The big thing about football is when football has turned into, at the lower levels, just running Oklahoma drill. That's not safe and good for kids, right? Teaching at the lowest of levels how to properly tackle so you do not get yourself hurt is more important than just running Oklahoma drill 15, 20 times and trying to separate the dogs from the not. Those are the things that I want to do a good job as a head coach at Clovis, just making sure that we're doing football the right way and teaching it the right way and doing it safe, so parents can feel confident that my young man can go out under Coach Wilkins' umbrella in Clovis, and he's going to be safe. Coach is going to teach him right, And he's not just going to get crushed and be sent to the hospital.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a huge factor too if they learn the principles of football through the Clovis High system, then go into a club or going to a different team and
Correct.
learn it that way, and maybe you're kind of learning it from a dad who doesn't really play football and they're just coaching it, so it's
Correct.
the
Correct.
techniques might not be as good as compared to you. Like now you're more hands-on with the elementary coaches, the middle school coaches, and helping them through that program. So
absolutely. And
once they get to Clark, they're ready. Once they get to Clovis High, they're
absolutely. Well, I'm going to have my hands in everything. If one of our players is playing for one of these systems, I'm going to have my hands in it for sure.
I mean, I think that's a great start. I mean, they're more malleable when they're younger. So if you teach them proper techniques, everything, do it the right way, by the time they get up to high school, it's just kind of just second nature, muscle memory. You don't have to teach them all the fundamentals again.
Absolutely.
So we're ending up the podcast, but first let's give a little breakdown of the schedule, what we're coming up to. So this next week, today's Friday, and starting tomorrow, starting after school today, is spring break. So we're going to have a full week of spring break. But what's the schedule and the breakdown after that?
Yeah, so we'll pick back up that Tuesday after spring break, because I think Monday's a travel day. And we'll continue the fifth quarter, and that will go all the way through the end of April. And then May, the first week, we'll still have our fifth quarter, and then we'll start getting into some of the spring stuff. Then spring practice starts, and it's time to start teaching ball, the new systems, and all the coaches will be around, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about that. And then my goal is to do a spring game here. I know it's something different that Clovis High hasn't been a part of, but it was big for us in college. Everybody would always have their spring game, and it would be in the stadium, and the fans could come check it out. We'll see what the accessibility to La Monica is, and if it's not, then we'll do it on the practice field, and everybody's welcome to come join and see what it's all about and see what it looks like. But yeah, that's the schedule coming up, and then summer comes, and I told our kids, like, your 3 favorite words to tell anybody: I have football. And that will start in June. Monday through Thursday we'll get grinding with the kids, and that's go time. That's time for us to get prepared and prepare our bodies, prepare our minds for what a full championship season can entail. So I'm excited, can't wait.
And fifth quarter ends May 11th, correct?
Yeah, I'll get the exact date, but it's right there. Right as soon as the first week of May is done, fifth quarter ends.
And then after that, we got spring ball. And what month will be the game here that you would like to have?
So that will be off the top of my head, the spring game's June 2nd.
Okay.
But I will make sure everybody, we'll make sure to make you a nice little graphic.
Everything's going to be on Instagram and Twitter for that. And I'm sure the closer we get with that too, it'll be up, on our YouTube, and, whether it's next week's podcast or the week after that, we'll have a lot more coming out, as well as a schedule. The schedule is coming out very soon.
Wait.
We're pretty much finalizing that. So definitely follow all the other social medias. I'll plop it up right now. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share this with a friend, share this with another friend, share a friend, tell a friend. Anything to say?
Donate if you can. We'll pop the QR code up one more time.
I'll pop it
it's
up one more time.
It's much needed for our program. We have a lot to invest, and the young men are responding to it, and they enjoy it. And I think it's upping our level of work as they understand how much people are willing to commit to this program. So thank you for everybody who has donated. Thank you for all that you do. Like I said, we're going to bring you back. We're going to bring you back into this program and make us this thing a community, and get this program where it needs to go. So that's all I have to say, and go Cougs.
And one more thing, this is going to be our view pretty much in the live stream. I think we mentioned that the very first episode, and we're going to have sponsors, all of that for the live stream as well. So we'll have everything in the description. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.